I cannot remember any time where I have been absolutely overwhelmed by the number of issues, the degree of the ferocity of the issues, and everything in between. I've never seen anything like this. You can go as deep with this as you want. You tell me, how deep would you like to go with this baby? And I mean it. It's like nothing I've ever seen. And what we're going to do today is, again, I'm going to tell you the truth. This is called, to use a Mearsheimer term in this particular case, realism. It may not be what you want to hear. It may not be what you like. It may make you a little angry. I don't know. I don't care. That's not the way it is. This is not a fan club, but this is also something that 99% of the people that you're going to meet have no earthly idea about. None. I get into these. I always tell myself, don't get involved. Somebody says, well, what do you think? I said, don't get involved. No. What do you think? I said, no, don't get involved. They're not going to understand. And immediately, despite what I tell myself, I go into, well, let's talk a little bit about globalism and the history. And they look at me like, what are you talking about? Today, cui bono, cui prodest? Who benefits from the destruction of the LA fires? Who? And they look at me like, what are you talking about? It's like, where have you been? There was on my X, there was a YouTube, Twitter, there is a piece, a compilation. And again, you listen to something and it opens your mind up. You say, wow, I never thought about this. As to the story of fires and destruction making way for new things. We have LA 2028. We have these programs. I hope you're getting my newsletter. I've got one coming up today on how ABC, from Sunny Hostin to this Muir thing, we're going to be talking about Lara Trump and how she is going to be told immediately, back off, stand down. This is not your time. It's about Melania. And how in a couple of, I don't know, you're not going to ever see anything from Kimberly again. She's going to end up, as some sources say, marrying some Greek guy. She'll be the first. Gone. This is also going to be a reaffirmation of and a retooling of Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan has got to be schooled. Joe Rogan sat there the other day with Zuckerberg and let him go. You can't do this. Joe Rogan had on Mel Gibson, whom I love because he's a traditionalist Catholic, and 99%, listen to me, of Catholics can't even tell you what being a Catholic is. And about his father Hutton Gibson, who died at 101, who basically took his kids to Australia in addition to keep them out of the Vietnam War. There's so much depth. And the depth is where the meat is. It's the good part. Sometimes the facts don't really see. Who would have thought that beef cheeks, grouper cheeks, the jowl would have been considered so tasty to so many? So sit back, my friends. We've got a lot to talk about today. So please, and make sure you are subscribed. They are deliberately holding us back. People right now, I just got one that said, I had to look for you because you're not in the algorithm. I've asked you for your help. I'm asking you, please make sure you are subscribed. We need your numbers for them to hear the truth. But first, this. We've been told our whole lives that wrinkle creams were the easiest way to look younger. Now, one doctor says that's nothing but old news. According to Dr. John Lakey, the world-renowned Beverly Hills beauty expert, Most wrinkle fixes on the market are nothing but glorified moisturizers. He says they hardly make a dent on your appearance, and some can even be harmful to your skin. Now, recently, Dr. Lakey has focused his attention away from mainstream cosmetic practices. Why? So he can pursue a revolutionary anti-aging breakthrough, one that some experts say could empty the wallets of the cosmetic industry. He says it's almost like Photoshop for your face. You may even be mad after seeing how easy it is to visibly erase your wrinkles from view. His personal clients have dubbed his new do-it-yourself technique the age rewinder method, because it can take years or even decades off your appearance in under 2 minutes. In light of this amazing breakthrough, Dr. Lakey has released a step-by-step video to the public, free and uninterrupted, where he outlines exactly how to use this simple solution from home. He says if this helps even one person look younger or feel more confident, I'll be thrilled knowing it helped. Now, the video has since gone viral. At first, it was shared by users on Facebook, but since then, it's racked up over 2,300,000 views and counting. So far, the comments and feedback have been outstanding, with thousands of women reporting they look decades younger. One viewer even commented, quote, "Best results of anything I've used. I can't believe how well this works. I've never stopped using this. I don't understand how it works, but the results are great. Thank you." Now, so you can find out more about this yourself right now. Go to bhmd1.com/Lionel or click on the link in the description below. That's bhmd1.com/Lionel. Now, there is one thing Dr. Lakey asks from his viewers. If watching this video helps you look and feel younger than you have in years, then please, he says, share this video with your friends and loved ones. Together, we have the power to help as many women reclaim a youthful look as possible. Go watch the video at bhmd1.com/Lionel right now, or just click on the link in the description box below. Now, I'm still going crazy right now because I'm still, I am absolutely thrilled by what is going on. Thrilled by what's going on. I don't even know where to start. Let me take you from the beginning and walk you through this, okay? And this is our goal. This is our goal. And let me also tell you, thank you for this. I am telling you, if you, I know I'm doing something right. I know I'm doing something right. The hate, it's driving people crazy. I don't block people on this X or whatever it is. I don't follow people. If you want to talk to me, fine, go ahead. I don't really care. I look at this. I just got this. Hi, I'm a recruiting agent. For some reason, I'm getting these faxes all the texts all the time for recruiting agents. I guess I'm some kind of a list. If you don't like people, ignore them. But there's people out there who just go crazy. And I love it. They must be doing something right. They're upset with what I think about Elon. They're not upset with what I like about Elon. And I don't know what it is. These people out there. And what's going to happen is, and this is my problem. This is it. You will never be able to put me into any kind of category because I am not part of a fan club. I can't say this enough. Ladies and gentlemen, I am not a part of a fan club. I'm going to tell you something, and people do not understand this. And that's why it is so important for you to make sure you are subscribed to Lionel Nation. Do it right now. 87%, I couldn't believe this, of the people who watch aren't subscribed, or the people who are will find themselves unsubscribed, or I'll see this. It's like, wait a minute. Somebody's doing something here. Now, I don't ever want to be one of those types that says, it's because of me and the strength of my message. I've heard this all my life. Everybody thinks I'm so. But if you don't fit in certain places, you feel it. So one more time, thank you for following. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let us talk about what's happening here. First, in case you've just tuned in, I am an American citizen. And by the way, thankful to Thomas Hathaway, who is a brand new member, and twice, as a matter of fact. Thank you for that. I am an American citizen. You dig? Oops. That's what I am. Let me see if I can get rid of it. There we go. I am an American. I'm not a Republican. We should start off. I'm going to come up with some kind of an article of faith. It's like an act of contrition or something. The kind of like the Apostles' Creed, so to speak, for this. And first, a very kind George Goodman says, there was a catastrophic fire at the iconic Jasper National Park in Alberta. Same playbook. Poor forest and water management, ignored by the Liberals. Pivot to climate change. Rebuilding has been a nightmare as the government considers green alternatives. George Goodman, thank you. Thank you for your kindness. Number one, if you're going to change something drastically, number one, remember, the best way is burn it down. Now these are very crude appraisals of what we're talking about. Crude, very, very crude. You start off with very, very basic stuff. You understand this? Crude. Burn it down. Burn it down. Then, when you come up, it's a different story. Throw things out like arson, targeted and deliberately arranged destruction, or tornado fire, the Santa Ana winds, poor forest management, fat lesbians at the helm, DEI, Gavin Newsom, globalism, UNWEF insanity, deliberate and malignant neglect. Go ahead. What's your favorite? Pick it out. Doesn't matter. You've got nobody who knows what they're doing. Nobody's involved in this. There's not somebody who's actually a part. Nobody, including Gavin Newsom, has ever been brought forward to meet with the higher ups who has been a part of this, how do I say this? Who has been made aware of what's going on. You've never, they don't meet. This is called compartmentalization. This is what people have to understand. Please, again, and I mentioned this in the, I keep saying this, follow the newsletter. Start off with this. Pay close attention. Los Angeles touted its blueprint in 2020 under Garcetti for their 15-minute city plan. They promised it would convert LA into a highly digital and connected city in 2028. Smart LA 2028. Technology for a better LA. This was a ransom note. They told you this. This is what they wanted you to see. This was their words, creating safe, walkable, bikeable, and transit-friendly communities. Eliminates the need for parking, enabling abundant, affordable housing for workers and low and moderate income households. That's the story. Do you see this? Do you see the UN, World Economic Forum footprints on this? Now I want you to listen to me. Do you see this? Are you catching? Please don't ever make it sound like I'm Mr. Smart Guy and you're an idiot. Like, don't you understand? I do this. It's a terrible habit I have. I'm trying to break myself of it. But I want to grab people and say, I didn't understand this. It's not my nature to think this. I'm not a conspiracist. I don't like them. I don't want there to be these nefarious cabals, these horrible, horrible people out there doing all their. I don't want that to be like that. I don't want to live in a world like that. I don't. Some people may get a kick out of it. I don't like it at all. Just to let you know this. This is critical stuff. Now, by the way, this is the link right here, and I'm going to try to post it. This is the newsletter. It's everything from Vegas to drones to whatever is up. I've got one coming up now about what's happening to ABC, which is really interesting. Because remember, if you want to be a part of the Lionel Nation here, remember a couple of things. You've got to be part psychologist. You've got to be sociologist. You have to pay attention to everything. You just can't sit back and say, well, that's entertainment. Oh, no. Hollywood is done. You know that, right? Hollywood is done. This is where everybody was. This is where everybody was. I'm going to put a link right here. This is it right here, and I'm going to put a little pin. I'm going to pin this, baby. There we go. So hang on a minute. Where is it? There we go. I'm going to pin this so you can see this. Sign up for the newsletter. And also, let me say one more thing to you. Again, somebody emailed me there. They got all mad. These people that get so mad. You think I'm not stupid. I said, no, I'm telling you. Sometimes people have said to me, I'm not getting your newsletter. I said, it's not just checking your spam filter. It's your spam settings. I have these quarantine files. We had something, and they're hard to get to. So just to let you know, you'd be surprised what's hiding there. Emails and things you've never received. You got that? You got this one? Okay, good. Now, let's go back through this. These are facts. Another thing we do here, and why you should subscribe and why I thank you, is that we just don't say, Now, I'm trying, and I mentioned it today, and people got all upset with me. First, for reasons I do not understand, and maybe you can help me with this. Maybe there is. There are people in our groups who say certain things. And one of them is, whenever there's a fire, they will say directed energy weapons. It's like a Pavlovian patellar reflex. And if you ask them, what do you mean? I mean, and they've never, excuse me, do not be offended. I'm not talking about you. I'm sure I've done these incredibly, I've tried to understand this better. And I'm not necessarily coming up with what I think this is, but let me see. Energy weapons are laser, electromagnetic, microwave, directed energy, beam focused. Directed energy weapons are used sometimes to control crowds, these weird electromagnetic blasts and gusts of heat and sonic, and they come in all kinds. So DEW to most people means something different. To most of our friends, it means this satellite that's up there and either low orbit, and they have created in their mind this system. And you say, does this work? Could you send? Is it the best means of sending this from space? Do you have a problem? Also, you don't want detection. You don't want our enemies saying, we're up there too, and we got satellites, and we've got pictures of you. What are you doing? Also, some energy weapons can be invisible, some not. Marjorie Taylor Greene got into some kind of problem where she was somehow construed or believed to be advancing an anti-Semitic theory or hypothesis, blaming the Rothschilds. And she had said nothing of the sort. Samantha Roberts joins us. Samantha, welcome. Pilgrim Media says, top of the morning to you, Mrs. L. Thank you, PM. Karen Peterson says, Uncle Lenny, is this a message for 47 and the new administration, or are they quietly okay with this? I couldn't tell you. I'm going to say one thing about this very quickly. Jess Garisso says, I live in Arizona. The Forest Service here is constantly cleaning the forest brush and doing pre-burns, and we have wildfires, but never to this destruction. Clearly, there is pure neglect in California. My friend Jess, I thank you, sir, and welcome. Welcome. We don't know. We don't know. So we'll see about this. If I had to guess, well, let me go back a little bit. Let me go back. See, I get very, very excited. I'm sorry. I get very, very excited. And again, I thank you. Please, again, your being here is such an honor for me. So work with me on this, because I never will ever, if you watch me long enough, I will never tell you it is this. I had a friend of mine, medical school professor. He was talking one time. I said, is cancer? I said, is cancer, because he's cancer with a specialty. I said, is cancer environmental? Is it chromosomal? Is it genetic? Is it whatever? And he said, yes, because the models are so complicated. We don't know. There is no this. And I can so easily create situations that are so fascinating. All I have to do is just put people together and let it go. Now, let me go back a couple of things. Let me see. I'm going to go back to this. Now, understand what is happening. First and foremost, LA has this thing that's happening. Lo and behold, it is this. Let me see. Where is this? Hang on a minute. Am I in the right place? I don't know. Here we are. Here we go. Okay. Now, go to the X. I'm at Lionel Media on X or Twitter. This is what I wrote this morning. This is there's a composite. This based upon this newsletter. This Lionel News. I hate the word newsletter. It sounds so stodgy. Isn't it just a tad too convenient that the LA wildfires of 2025 have left the city's landscape ripe for the picking, just in time for smart LA 2028 and the Olympics? Look up smart LA. I've got a picture of it. It's been there since 2020. Gil Garcetti mentioned this. The so-called coincidences are stacking up like fire debris, and it reeks of a premeditated globalist agenda. Not proof of, but let's go there. Probable cause versus reasonable doubt. I'm the lead detective. Hey, Captain, what is it? I got a funny feeling about the neighbor. Go check him out. Doesn't mean the neighbor did it, but you follow your instincts. Because remember something, and listen to me. When something stinks, when something doesn't make sense to you, you go there. Don't ever let anybody tell you that's stupid. Because if something happens, use your intuition. Okay, think about this. Now, we've seen the gross neglect, the deliberate underfunding of fire services, and the conveniently timed mistakes that led to this incredible devastation. And don't forget the newest layer of culpability. You ready for this? Arson. Arson. Of course there's going to be arson. There's arson all the time. Of course. What does arson do? Arson just, people say, oh, that's it. It's arson. It's not anything about forestation. No, it's arson. Right, Gavin? Oh, yeah, right. Right there, Karen Bass. Yeah, you're right. It's not about us. Oh, no, it's arson. See, damn you. damn you. And you see somebody, some crazy person they get, and they point them kind of like a patsy. Where have you heard this before? Where have you heard this about? Okay. And don't forget that this arson is now the latest layer of this. But where's the real investigation? It's as if the powers that be are laughing in our faces, using, again, I hate to say it, Hegelian dialectics. It's almost the who is it? Rahm Emanuel. Don't let a good tragedy go unattended. This is their playbook. To transform LA into this surveillance-heavy tech utopia under the guise of, what is it? Rebuilding. We're going to rebuild. You see, if I want to make this area, this utopian LA 2028, these people aren't going to leave. These people aren't going to leave. I'm going to give you an example of something. And I tell people this, and I don't think people want to hear it, but it's the truth. If I were in, let's say, Israel, and I worked for Bibi, and don't think for a moment that Trump is sold on Bibi. Bibi is here, Israel is here, the Israeli people are here, and Judaism's over. I ran out of space. They're all different. They have nothing to do with each other. They're all different, okay? There's the Vatican, there's the Pope, there's Catholicism, and there's God. And they all have nothing really to do with each other, okay? But if I were to say, listen, I got a situation for you. I'll tell you what's going on. You got a problem with this two-state solution. First of all, you got these Palestinians here. Yeah, I'll take care of that for you. I'll just get rid of them. Why? I'll either run them off or they'll just go away. They'll move or I'll just disappear them under the guise of going after Hamas. And I'll always say, we got to get those tunnels. You've bombed. There's nothing there. Oh, no. The bombs are there. Thank you, Terry Cornetta. Oops, hang on a minute. Terry Cornetta, thank you so much for joining us. By the way, have a piece of crumb cake. All new members, go to the front of the line, get a piece of crumb cake, have a seat, and get a copy of the pamphlet about how to be a member of the conspiratorium. Okay? Now, when I tell people this, they say, I said, come on. It just so happens that the best thing to do is forget this two-state solution. I've got a perfect example. October the 7th, I go in and they're gone. There's your problem. Hey, I didn't do that. I did it plausible deniability. I didn't want to kill people. No, it was Hamas. They're underground. They're in the tunnels. And I have to just basically destroy everything that was Gaza, because it's not because I have a problem with the Palestinians. No, it's Hamas. Don't you get it? See? Okay. There used to be an expression, and this fellow and in Israel told me this. And he says the Arabs have an expression. He says an Arab, he said, will burn the blanket to kill the fleas. And you have to understand. Let me stop right there. Look at me. The world is not a nice place. The world is run by a few people. It's not by you and me. We have nothing to do with this. I hate to tell you this. Nobody's listening to us. They will. We're only important en masse. We're only critical en masse. Do you get it? We're like the notion of the fasces, the fasces. The stick. Here's a stick. You can break it. Put two sticks together. A little harder. Put a bunch of them and you can't break it. That's us. I have a friend of mine who's watching. He has an expression. I've known him for years. He said this one time, and I love it, but it sounds so crude. It sounds a bit undinistic and Eurolagnic for all you paraphiles out there. He says, we can drown them in our urine. And I said, what the hell does that mean? He says, there's so many of us. We have been told to just keep quiet. If we ever fought back, if we ever said, oh, no, you don't. My dream is, let me tell you, my dream. And I will say it as simply as this. This is my politics. This is my faith. I want to see every president or politician, anybody, mayor, governor, in their office, looking out the window and saying, are they pissed? Yeah. I hope not. That's what I want. You see, my idea is I want the government afraid of us because we can drown them in our urine. But I don't like this. We're afraid of them. We don't even know who the government is. That goes for Trump, goes for anybody. Okay? But let's go back to this. Let's go back to this very, 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 very critical piece here. Let's not kid ourselves about this. The plans for Smart LA 2028 were on the drawing board long before the fires raged through the city. The evidence might be hidden or destroyed, but the pattern is unmistakable. They've got all their ducks in a row to implement the so-called Build Back Better initiative. See where that's going? Which looks more like control through disaster. To anybody who's paying attention, the Olympics, just another excuse to fast-track their agenda, turning a natural disaster into a developer's dream. You don't need a smoking gun when you have a trail of ashes leading straight to the globalist infiltrated city planner's office. And they don't know anything. Remember, if you go there and you sit them down and you say, listen, do you know where they're about to go? I don't know what you're talking about. Nothing. And when remember, if I ran this, my dream is to be this person who comes in. You know how Styles, whatever what's her name? Styles, the Susie? Wiles, isn't it? She's like there, but not there. No, she's there, but she's supposedly like she's like the Haldeman and Ehrlich, like the gatekeeper. She tells you what to do. I want to go in there and I want to tell the president, never at the White House, always through sat phones. And I'm going to say, here's a couple of things. Number one, Mr. President, do me a favor. I want you to do me a favor or I'll do it. You're going to tell, number one, Lara Trump, back down, back off. This isn't about you, honey. Just like with Kimberly, it's not going to be about Alina Habba or any of these others. It's about you and Melania. Did you see the New York Post today? Trouble. She is so full of herself. And this is her. Nope. We're going to put an end to that. You make a lot of money. You notice how Eric's nowhere to be found? We are not going to do any unforced errors. Number one. Number two, pay attention to the media. Here's a little insight for you. Did you see your buddy Greg Gutbucket the other day? I don't know who's writing for him. I've never watched the show. Never watched the show. If there's a clip somewhere, I'll watch it. It is like snarky to me. It's not very sophisticated humor, but it's very popular, and that's fine. Being popular on Fox is like being the fastest miler in the over 80 division. He's the best, but he's 85 years old. He's the fastest 85-year-old person. There are YouTube platforms of girls unboxing curling irons that get more numbers than that. So let us disabuse ourselves of this. Number one. Okay? If it's funny, that's it. Number two. Fox News doesn't understand this. Trump won. Got the House. Got the Senate. Got everything. So tell me, what's your comedy going to be about? You're going to talk about The View all day long? You're going to make fun of Kamala? When you're in that business, you only do well when you're behind, when you can trash the leaders. You're not going to have Biden anymore. Biden's gone. She's gone. You're talking about Obama? You're going to make Big Mike jokes? Okay. It's over. You're missing the point. Mr. President, right now, Gavin Newsom is saying to you, he is throwing out, he understands. He's throwing a kind of a life preserver. Help me. You've got to say, now, let me explain this to you. Let me see if I can explain this. This is, and please, I don't want to sound like, oh God, there he is, Mr. Big Shot. But this is reality. What do Hillary Clinton and Gavin Newsom, well, maybe Hillary, because forget Kamala, she never wanted this. She never wanted this, so it doesn't matter. Both of them were like this. How do I look at this? Somebody gave me. This is my Trump pin. It's a little swishy, but you know what? Damn it, I'll wear it. I don't care. But imagine you have this thing. Ooh, look at all my Trump memorabilia here. Ooh, hey, Hillary, you want to be president? Yeah. Ooh. Well, you're not. What? No. You sat out twice. You sat out twice for Bill. You sat out twice for Barack. And then they pushed. Then you're nowhere to be found. You're gone. Oh, what could have been? That was your dream. Sorry, it ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna happen. She could change her image like that, but she doesn't want to. She could. Same thing for Michelle. Same thing for anybody. But it works. The only one who cannot change her, and by the way, ladies in particular, because I think you'll understand this. If you're not watching what's happening to Meghan Markle, you are missing one of the greatest examples ever of this. I don't know what the word is. This just a collapse of image. Okay, now here comes Gavin Newsom, who was married to Kimberly Guilfoyle. She was Kimberly Guilfoyle Newsom. She was married before that, this guy. But anyway, Kimberly Guilfoyle. She was trouble from the get-go. California is run by the following. The Newsoms, the Browns, Jerry Brown, everything. You got a lovely daughter. The Pelosi's and the D'Alessandros. D'Alessandro was really Nancy Pelosi before. And the Getty family. The Getty. Do you see? Is that Getty Museum gone? No. The Getty Villa survived. Who? Everything burned around it. Who else? Thieves are stealing from the food donation centers. They can't stop it because there's no police. Now, the Getty Museum somehow made it. Tom Hanks, right? I think, and Steven Spielberg. And what do you make about James Woods, who said, my house is gone? And then he says, wait a minute. No, it's not. Now, let me go back to the others. I don't know what to make of this. I'm not going to say to you that I'm happy that somebody's, or upset that somebody's home wasn't destroyed. I'm not ever going to say that. But do you not feel it funny that Getty, now remember Getty and Balthazar Getty, these guys own California. They're it. And Gavin, remember Gavin's father was a judge, and there's this great story. It's very complicated. The only father that Gavin knew was really the Getty, who put him into the restaurant business. And then the judge, no, his father, Gavin's father, represented the Gettys. And anyway, he's through. Gavin is done. It's done. He's done. He's done. He's in the fat lesbian group. He's in the Bass group. He's with all these folks. He's with that DEI, the smelt. There's this one, it was so perfect. It was on X. I've got this, and I had to repost it. It's a little smelt saying F your city. And it's a little smelt, little fish. He's got him in his hand. This is what he's for. He's done. He's done. Hillary Clinton, done. Gavin Newsom, done. Listen, the left, they had, by the way, available, be the first in your neighborhood. It's like an abortion. I hate to use this. It's like an abortion. They terminated the, what have you. Tom says DEI is throwing DEI under the bus and now backing up over themselves for another round. Oh, yeah. Well, see, that is this Quinones. Let me stop for a second. Did you hear this? I hope you're following me on X. Still can't say that X name, but I'm working on it. I'm getting better. Quinones. Did you see this? Oh, another one too. Ladies, I'm sorry to tell you this because I think sometimes ladies are smarter and they get it. One of the biggest manufactured BS moments is this Demi Moore. She's a freak. And the moment I told you about Matt Gaetz, you haven't even seen the surface of that one yet. But when they get to the bottom of her and Ashton Kutcher, oh, they own her. Let me tell you something. Just get ready for that one. Okay? That's all. That's all. Now, let me tell you about this one. Let's talk about Quinones. She is unbelievable. Where is... I make it to the Mel Gibson. I don't even know I don't think you care about that. But the Quinones, where is she? I've got this piece right here. Let me see. Quinones. Oh, by the by, there's this thing that's going around, this meme. It says, it's Sun Tzu. I like General Tso myself, and it says, an evil man will burn his own nation to the ground to rule over the ashes. Doesn't that sound good? Never said it. Even though there is absolutely no evidence that he ever said this, it's probably a James Clavell kind of a shogun or samurai or whatever. I don't really care. It still makes a lot of sense, but there's no, because nobody ever thinks to go and check whether this makes any sense. Nobody thinks this. Nobody. But let's see this. Janice Quinones. Janice Quinones. Appointed in May as the head of the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power. Earns, I shite you not, an annual salary of $750,000. However, her background does not include direct experience in managing water systems, and prior to her role at LAWP, Quinones was employed by Pacific Gas and Electric, PG&E, an electric utility company that notably faced bankruptcy after being implicated in, wait for it, starting several wildfires in California due to issues with their power infrastructure. And this transition from managing an electric utility to overseeing both water and power systems in Los Angeles has raised questions about her qualifications. Do you think? You can't write this. Did you see last night when and by the way, I only use this term, But the lesbian leader, the advocate, called her now lesbian. You notice this? Lesbian. It was always LGBTQ and LGBTQ. Now it's lesbian, sapphic, lesbian. Okay, fine, lesbian. So the lesbian leader was going to meet. They're going to throw her under the bus. They're going to throw everybody under the bus. So going back to Gavin, he now says, Mr. President, I want to meet with you. And what the president has to do, listen to me carefully. What President Trump has to do is he's got to say, I'll meet with you, but first, aquí, points to Israel, and you've got to besa me culo. And give me half an hour to draw a crowd. Lick the boots right here and beg. Beg. Okay? Beg. Because listen to me, the left and the right have had kind of an abortion. There is no such thing. In California, if I walked in there and Barbara Streisand still doesn't, she's still saying, well, it's climate change. They're saying, Babs, it's over. She didn't get the memo. If I went to these people right now and I said, let me tell you something. Listen to what I'm telling you. And this is so important. I want there to be new laws that use shoot to kill protocols for looters. And by the way, yesterday there was this video, and I put it up and I took it down because I thought, oh my God, you got to be careful of this. It was a black family that was just basically packing their goods and just kind of walking out. They had it was just their home. And they go, they goddamn looters. It goes, they're not looters. Anyways, you got to be careful. Remember, always self-correct. If you put something up that's wrong, take it down. That's all. We don't need anybody. We don't need fact checkers. If I made a mistake, I take it down. I like to look things up. But anyway, so there's this world out there that's changing. And the president has to go out there and remember what Lyndon Johnson did. Was it 1965 hurricane? I don't know the name of it. Hurricane, whatever it was. He went. I think it was Hale Boggs. And Russell Long said, you've got to go. It was Nolans. Whatever the Hurricane Don or something. 1965, whatever it was. And he went there. You know, this drives me crazy. I always tell you to look it up. LBJ, Hurricane, New Orleans. What was the name of it? It was Hurricane Betsy. Yes. LBJ, they said, you need this. Oh, this was something. It was one of the best things ever. Let me see. Russell Long came. Hale Boggs, who is, I think, Cokie Roberts' father at the time. Remember Cokie Roberts? Anyway, Cokie, you know. Anyway. They went there. Lo and behold, they went there and they said, Mr. President, we need you, and you know, you're going to need, okay. They said, fine, you're going to need Louisiana. He said, this is LBJ says, fire up Air Force One, let's go. And they went there, and he was devastated. So there was a black church that was, I think it was a basement or something. Don't quote me on this. But the story is that they were in the basement. They were putting sandbags and doing whatever it was. And all of a sudden, there's this voice. And somebody said, put a light on me. And he puts it on him. He goes, this is your president, Lyndon Johnson, and I'm here to help. And they said, that sounds like Johnson. And they dropped and go, holy God. And there he is, walking out. It was like they dropped it. Thank you. It was the moment. And he really wanted to do that because he really wanted to be loved. That's what you do. If I were President Trump, I would do things like, can we speed this up? Do I have to wait 9 days? Mr. Biden, President Biden, Joe, Count me an emissary. I am ready to go. We know I have got the best teams, and they better say, I want you to give me. Remember the guy Ray? What's the guy? There were these incompetents. Remember Brownie doing a hell of a job? Brownie. It was terrible. You've got to have the best. You need a Schwarzkopf. Mr. President, this is when everybody is looking at you. Remember why they love Chris Christie? Because of Sandy or whatever it was. There he was. Get off that damn beach. It's the moment that changes everything. It's the moment that you show leadership. They love this. Please do not. And also, what you need to do is you get on the phone. If you want to send Don Jr., you got to watch him. He's a problem. Sorry. And that was him with, who was it? Charlie Kirk, and they were in Greenland, and it looked like short bus time. I'm sorry. They got the, you do me a favor. Let me a favor. Don, I want you to get all your LL Bean gear. Get Charlie. I don't care. I want everybody to go there, and you help. Go there. Go. And I want pictures of you carrying out, if you can carry out an old person. Do something. Show this. You want to act tough? Forget Greenland. That's where you go. California, I'm not going to forget you. We're going to own it. Turn it. Remember, it almost went red last time. Own this. I'm sorry to be so blunt. You've got to do something. Send all those people. You want Lara Trump? Do me a favor. Get out of that gown and get your ass down there. Go. Serve food. Be it to hold babies. Do it now. I'm in charge of PR. That's what I do. Go there. We'll have all of our, bring Martin, bring Dan Scavino. Go there. I want you to own this. And I don't want you to make speeches. I don't want you to do it. I just want you to be there. And you go from one side to the next. And also, you want to get tough? You stand watch with other people to protect their homes from being looted. You go there. I want to own this. I want to own this. The other day they had Alina Habba doing this low cut thing. It's like, what is the matter with you people? What is the matter? Are you adults or not? This is your chance. Never miss this opportunity. Never. I think Pilgrim knows this. We're from in Tampa in Florida. We had Bob Graham, Lawton Childs. We had a guy named Nick Nuccio, who was the mayor of Tampa when I was like a kid. You could go to his house at 4 a.m. He would meet anybody. These were absolute politicians who went crazy. Now, do you understand something? Didn't it look weird to you that James would say, my house is gone. It is through. It is finished. It's done. I felt so terrible for him. And he goes, hey, good news. My house is okay. And I'm thinking, wait a minute. Carla, the cooking CEO, says, happy Saturday. It is about the optics. It's our turn. Absolutely. Optics is a terrible word, Carla, for the truth. Optics is the truth. Optics is what is the truth. That's what it is. It's not, it sounds very cold and PR-ish and phony and the like. No. But I hope, going back to James Woods, I like him. I think he's one of the most brilliant people around. His commentaries were biting and absolutely laser. It is so smart and so wonderful to see somebody so smart, right? So brutally true. It was wonderful to see this brutality of truth. But first, don't tell people, hey, my house made it. Just back off. Don't say anything. Help other people, because now somebody might say, oh, okay. Well, next time around, we'll take care of that, because you do know there's going to be another round. This isn't going away. No. They're going to be back because they're not done. So I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you. Perception is reality, but also reality is perception, K2. It's what this is the only thing I know is what I see. And what I see is what I perceive. I mean, there's really it's the most unprofound statement. It's almost a verity in and of itself. It's just true. Now, we have to go through this. Number one, certain buildings do not catch fire. Let me start. Number one, I am not a fire expert. I am not a construction expert. I am not any of that stuff. You understand this? I am not. I'm not. But I will tell you this. There are some houses, what'd you say, honey? They were stucco and some just. Yeah, stucco. Now, stone doesn't burn. You know why? Fireplaces are stone. And they don't burn. And you see stuff, and I'm thinking, no, I don't know about that. But let's see. You remember, my friends, on the 11th day of the 9th month, about 23 or 24 years ago, we saw these things go like this. At free fall. Now, I don't have to be an expert. I don't have to be I'm a rational human being. So there's a lot of questions to answer. So remember, these things called, and this is very, very important about, how do I say this? These words. Oh, I'm going to tell you another thing. I'm going to bring you up to speed. There's some great, great stuff. Let me see this. There's some wonderful stuff about, dare I say this? Oh, here we go. And when you tell somebody something about this, there is a wonderful piece on Substack. It's Dr. Peter and Ginger Breggin, Breggin. And it's some of the greatest. They mentioned the C40s Cities Initiative. Have you seen this one? The C40s city. It says around the world, C40 mayors and the cities they lead are taking ambitious, collaborative, and urgent climate action that aligns with science-backed targets. They work together across borders in order to protect people. So that's C40. Was that UB40? Was it the 80s? Anyway, there's a whole new area on fire as we speak. Where? Mandeville Canyon, above Brentwood. You've got right now the United Nations that's also looking at something called United Nations, the 15-minute city. Please review that. Then there's globalist goals. Look at this. This is WeForm, the surprising stickiness of the 15-minute city. This is urban transformation from World Economic Forum, our friend Klaus Schwab. Then we have manufacturing climate change. This is unraveling the lies of climate change. There's so much to that. It's not even funny. Then, hang on. Then we've got our friends, the Open Society Foundation, like George Soros, who comes in and he does his thing. And by the way, there's more. Let me see this. These predatory. Oh my God. There is. Let me just stop right there. I know this sounds like. This is where I have to sometimes stop and say, oh my God. I can't. I mean, I had no idea. Remember when I hate when they say follow the money, but it's more than just money. This is something else. It's not just about money. there is a movement that has been exposed. Not everything is money. Remember, Henry Kissinger was not a billionaire, didn't have to be. He was one of the most powerful people in the world. It's power. And you may not understand necessarily the reasons why we do things. You may not understand, but it's critical that you understand there is something that is globalist in nature, which seeks to retool, reset the world where we become compartmentalized and imprisoned in these little urban fortresses, not big cities where everything is combined. We saw it recently with, here in New York, they wanted to put Rikers Island below a Starbucks. I mean, I said, what are you talking about? We saw it here in New York when we had Michael Bloomberg, who was the mayor, who gave us that 16-ounce soda ban crap. But now we have bikes everywhere. We have these things called shitty bikes, and they're all over the place. You can grab a bike. Times Square has been completely transformed into this walking area. They're going to do that to Fifth Avenue. They want this to be no traffic. We now in New York City have, in Manhattan, congestion pricing. And there are people in New Jersey. So we have to figure out, I'm not going to pay $9 to go around the corner. I'm just not. I ain't going to do it. So I had to pick Mrs. L up from a meeting, and I had to go up the West Side Highway. And what's happening, listen to me, because they're going to do it to you right now. Let's say there's this square of, basically, this is Manhattan. And at 60th Street, this is where all this stuff happens. So everything below 60th is all the problems. Coming in from New Jersey, you got the Holland Tunnel, Lincoln Tunnel, the Brooklyn, whatever, all that stuff. You come in. But above 60, everything's fine. So what are they doing? Everybody is, to avoid this, they're going parking, and they're destroying everything above 60. So everything Upper West Side, Upper East Side, everything. They're saying, who are these cars? The locals can't, because they're trying to avoid this. So what are they going to do then? They're going to move it even higher because they want to stop you. And this is Kathy Hochul, but it was done originally by Andrew Cuomo Salazzo, who had to step down because he's a predator. And his numbnuts, moonbat, benighted Dunsky brother, Fredo, who's at his show. Remember when he spread that lie about CNN wants me back? Nobody wants you back. Nobody wants you back. He now is on a network that has the same frequency and listenership as baby monitors. He's done. So believe it or not, Cuomo may come back as mayor because the guy we have is mentally retarded. Sorry, this guy's so stupid. And he's like too stupid to be indicted, though he's under indictment. Okay, stop right there. So this is a part of this. So when Cuomo comes along and Kathy Hochul comes along, they're not told. Now listen, this is all about Klaus Schwab and the whole thing. We want to transform and destroy urban life, and we want to make this into some globalist hellscape. They don't tell them that. They're saying if you want to be a Democrat, this is the new progressive line. Okay. They question nothing. They question nothing. I've got a friend of mine who is a liberal Democrat. He questions it. They can tell them anything. And I texted him. I said, you probably think this is all accidental, right? Right? You just think this is some negligence and whatever. Maybe, or right? And they say, I don't know. These people believe anything you tell them. Did your parents ever say, why? Why? Because I told you so. Because I'm your mother, and that's why. You ever hear that? I like that. And everything you think you're not going to say, you end up saying. Why? Because I told you. I'll give you something to cry about. You want to cry? I'll give you something to cry about. I'll give you something. What was that? What was that? What was that? You know, that kind of thing. Okay. Those are a lot of people in this country. That's the story. Show us. And I heard somebody the other day on, and talk radio, I think is trying, at least in the LA area, they're still doing this nonsense about, and the brush and deforestation. And if I said, would you stop that? Would you please stop this? Now, let me go to another subject. Maybe you can get this. Every now and then, something happens that just hits home. George Herbert Walker Bush doesn't like broccoli. They went crazy. Remember that, honey? Broccoli went crazy. Broccoli, by the way, is one of the best, aside from being cruciferous. You know how people have, I'm taking a cleanse. I'm a cleanse. Here's one for you. I'm changing the subject. This is one of the best. Yes, there is the best food. Go to nutritionfacts.org. This is one of the most important. Researchers just found that the boost in detoxifying enzymes triggered by cruciferous vegetables consumption may last for weeks. He has a post called The Best Detox. And he, by the way, I know this is an aside, but I know you're interested in this. Greger describes this amazing phenomenon in which a phytonutrient produced by broccoli can enhance the function of our so-called phase 2 enzyme system that aids in the excretion of foreign molecules. For example, if you feed people broccoli and Brussels, we always say Brussels sprouts, it's Brussels sprouts, they clear caffeine quicker, as you can see. So anyway, and the key is phytonutrients, not necessarily pills. Okay, jump to the future. So George Herbert Walker Bush said, I don't like broccoli. People went crazy. That's number one. Number two, remember when, I think it was Bush too, he never saw a scanner. He said, what's that? I think it was him. I think, or somebody. And they went crazy. This is before the internet. They don't know what? Out of touch. How about when he looked at his watch? He looked at his watch and he had that classic yuppie multicolored band. I mean, this guy is so preppy. He's not even funny. Anyway, because he's left-handed. He looks at his watch and he wanted to see the time frame. He wasn't saying I'm bored. They went crazy. So recently there's this piece with David Muir, who he's always like the entire piece. He always leans. He had his jacket on. And it's just like an LL Bean, like one of these things when you come out there, you got your logo. And he had the clothes pinned to the back to make it look tailored. Plus he's got the makeup and the whole thing. They went crazy over the clothespins. Now, I'm thinking to myself, with all the crap out there, you have no idea. Leona Helmsley one time said, taxes are for little people or poor people or something. They went crazy. You just say these things. Lyndon Johnson picked his beagle up one time. Remember, by the ears? They went crazy. That David Muir thing, they're still talking about it. You see, social media doesn't just repeat what you're doing, it amplifies it. It like puts it through a like a carnival mirror or something, like a funhouse mirror. It blows things out of proportion. These people don't understand how serious this stuff is. Saber Toy says, Doog show, Mr. L. Thank you. That's our code for good. Ms. Lauren one says, no, Lionel. LA called our President Trump horrible names even when he got, yes, Newsom and Democrats can fix it. I don't want Trump in LA. Oh, no. Ms. Lauren, thank you. You can't do this. No. How many people believe it would be one of the greatest moments to not only be presidential, which Trump needs to be more of, even though he's technically got 10 days to go, but to be presidential, to maybe completely shift that. That state came so close to going red last time. This would be the greatest moment. And for him to sit there and talk about the great people of California, the brave people of California, forget Newsom. How many think? Would you advise President Trump? No, you don't go to a country that's so big, it's the 5th largest economy in the world. If you just write them off because they said terrible things about you. Who in their right mind would actually say this? And I know you meant it and you're angry. I don't blame you. Oh, no. Did you see President Trump the other day sitting with Obama? It was the most beautiful thing in the world. It's like, I don't hold grudges. Why? I'm better than you. I'm in charge. It's like wrestling. It's kayfabe. It's beautiful. You've got that little twit, that titmouse, Kamala, and that weird husband. And she's trying, I don't know why he keeps doing this. You know why? Because I held my thumb up or something. And I'm trying to turn this damn thing off here. In any event, no, you go there. You go, boy or girl, you go there. Absolutely. When we were in Mrs. Ellen, particular parts of her Warriors travel, she was in Southern California, could not believe. Or some of the areas you saw, San Diego, La Jolla, others. I mean, places that years ago they would say they would have had nothing to do with Trump. They love him. I mean, they love him. Oh, no. We have to sit there. And it's very easy to be angry, and I appreciate that. But this is about a battle. This is about winning the hearts and minds. So that's what he will do. Ms. Lauren says, I know you're right. LA was just so awful to him. Oh, I know that. But a lot of people didn't. They didn't. You see, I get this sometimes, Lauren. People talk about New York. Well, New York is. You don't know anything about New York. You don't know anything about New Yorkers. New Yorkers are the nicest people. It's hard for people. They're far away and they don't really understand it. And they go, I hate New York. And it's kind of fun to say it, you know. And a lot of New Yorkers think they're snooty somewhere, but that's not what the reality is. 99.999% of all New Yorkers have never been the victim of crime. Never been burgled, never been hit, shot, slapped, stolen, nothing. But you don't hear that. You hear about, you know. But the reality is this. Oh, no, this is the president. Everything he's got to do, you've got to sit here. And I'm telling you, and listen to me, Trump has had a problem in the past with women. I'm sorry, but that E. Jean Carroll business didn't help. He said some stuff before, and I want to do two things because I'm in charge of propaganda. Number one, I want more Melania. She's a star. And I want to get all of the ladies involved. It's not so, but it's only Lara or Lara, L-A-R-A. They call her Laura, which is L-A-U-R-A. I don't know. It's like Naomi. I don't know where that comes from. Anyway, you've got Lara, and you got Alina Haba, and I don't know who else. Tulsi doesn't do that. She acts like a lady, and she's not into look how beautiful I am. That turns people off like you cannot believe. There's one first lady, and that's it. Period. We also need to have, I want to see a picture. I want Trump to go there. I don't want him to put on his gear, his hat, like he did with other things. And I want Melania to show holding babies. I want her to be with black kids and little kids and this, and to do that mom warm thing They love this. And I want that. And I want you to use this to shove it down the globalist throat and say, you gave me lemons, and I'm giving you not only lemonade, but lemon meringue pie. I'm giving you lemon jello. I'm giving you everything. I'm going to own this. And he's got to tell people, we are not going to use this as an excuse for some crazy climate, green, whatever, to use your horror to push you out of the way and say, great, well, since nobody wants this property anymore, how are they going to go back? These people don't want this property. What are they going to do? What do you think what are they going to do? Tell me. How does this work? You're going to see some company come in. I'm not going to say BlackRock, but something like that. It'll be some subsidiary. And there are people who are going to be saying, I'll give you a quit claim deed. You're wiped out. You're through. I'll give you $1 million, boom, or whatever the hell it is. Give me your property. That's it. I own it. You. It's already done. And then I turn it back over and I make a great profit, because it's all about us. And the next thing you know, Brentwood, Holmby Hills, Zuma Beach, West Hollywood, this and that, Pasadena, whatever it is. I'm going to make sure it's all part of this new program. Remember what I told you. Remember, there are these programs. There's this C40 Cities Initiative. It's all there. The Livable Communities Initiative. Have you seen this one? The LCI. The Livable Communities Initiative is a plan to address LA's housing, traffic, and climate crisis by building 3 to 5 stories of gentle density above small retail along carefully chosen commercial streets that are transformed to be walkable, bikeable, and livable. It is a vision for 15-minute walkable communities in LA. The LCI, the Livable Communities Initiative. This is all there. All there. They remember this hidden in plain sight. The LCI advocates for the development of housing on commercial sites along our underutilized commercial arterials for both walkability. Why? We don't want cars. We want you walking. Why? For your prison. We want you to stay in your prison. It's not about climate. That's a pretext. And because there is widespread regional support for incorporating housing, low income, affordable. This model also allows for many small builders to partner with small property owners to build individual infill projects, INFILL. We've engaged with over 4,000 Southern California residents, revealing overwhelming support for a 3 to 5 story, aesthetically pleasing and thoughtfully located housing model near employment hubs and transit centers. They are telling you this. So, for you, other than Spielberg, James Woods, forget this. You've got acres of this and all this. No. We want all of that. I mean, what in time for the Olympics in 2028. We want to show the world, look what we're doing. So that the others, when they get together for the G7 and their Davos and their Bilderberg and all this other kind of jazz, they get together and they say, wow, look at that. They're telling you what they're doing. Now think about this. I could sit there and say, please, Bel Air, please, Hollywood, please, Beverly Hills, please. Is Beverly Hills okay? Do we? I don't know. Yeah, who knows? The winds are shifting, okay? So I could do one of two things. I could go to you and I could say, please do me a favor. Please, we beg you. Please, James Woods, please sell your property. Please do it. Sell it. So they go, but get the hell out of here. No, it's important for you to be a part of this. This is our dream. Don't you want to be? No, I don't want to be a part of your dream. I don't want you to do this. No, please. Okay. They can do that. Or they could just say, well, it's kind of moot now because this is all gone. It's gone. Finished. And you can figure out, oh, and by the way, good luck, because you're going to be really destitute because either homeowners or catastrophic or fire insurance has already been canceled. So good luck with you. What about Lahaina? What about Maui? What about all that? It's done before. They do it over and over. Remember the rail system they were suspecting in Northern California. Hey, these people won't leave. Okay. I hate to say it too. In Israel, not that this is the plan, but if I didn't know better, I'd say, I'll take care of this. But there's no two-state solution. What do you want? I want these Palestinians out. Okay. We'll give you a form. This is our hurricane. It's called Hamas. You've got the wildfires. We've got Hamas. Take it over. I'll take care of it. They're gone. They're gone. They're not here anymore. They're gone. And then like Jared Kushner said, by the way, keep him out of it. There's a lot of beautiful ocean front, but do you want to hear the truth? This is the truth. And tell me, when you hear this, doesn't this make you say, wow, I really see? Listen to our good friend Dane Wigington from geoengineeringwatch.org. Geoengineeringwatch.org. All of the information is there. Everything you need to know is here. It's not on Fox. It's not on CNN. It's not on any cable. It's not on Breitbart. It's not on National Review or I don't know what other ones you want to look for. Newsmax. No. Remember, it's not perfect. You haven't heard me mention Trump's foreign policy, folks. Oh, dear God. Oh, no. They are the worst. But that's for later. It's not going to be perfect. I'm not leaving. So anyway, my dear friends, I hope I've given you a lot to think about. We never got to Mel Gibson. So Ms. Lauren, thank you for your honesty. Sabertron Toys, thank you. K2ZMM. Carla, the cooking CEO, the best to you. Obrigado. Tom Malloy, Terry Cornetta, George Gidman, Jess Garriso, maybe cut him off. Karen Peterson, Pilgrim Media, Samantha Roberts, and Mr. Thomas Hathaway. Thank you so much for this. I also told you it is now 8 days until Mrs. L's birthday. And we need you and your greatness to go and to subscribe to the best source of information regarding the protection and the careful scrutiny regarding our kids who are subject to predation and the like digital safety violations like you cannot believe. Because as you're looking towards LA, the predators they're not going anywhere. They never take a vacation. Never. So go to Lynn's Warriors on YouTube. Go right now. Lynn's Warriors. And while we're on the subject of subscription, I love it. Isn't that great? The winds, the deadly winds, the zephyrs. Get one. Here's a better one. There we go. That's the one you don't want to hear. You don't want to hear this behind your head in a movie theater. Not good. This will get their attention. Isn't that funny? The different timbres of this. And also thank you, dear friends, for following Lionel Nation. As I told you, it is critical that we get the message out. It is critical that we get the message out. And for reasons I shan't understand, sometimes there are just swaths of unsubscribes. I don't know what's happening here. They hate this message. They want to do everything in their power. Not YouTube, but I'm saying just people in general. Because we scare people. And we don't fit into categories. We don't fit into this thing. And that's why you're following Lionel Nation is so critical and so appreciative. And don't forget the words as the great Greta Thunberg would say, how dare you? All right, dear friends, have a great and glorious day. It snowed today. Is the snow gone? It snowed early. It was a beauteous day. We're going to kind of, I don't know if we're going to be out and about. I'm getting a little Korea pull. Something's like making me want to go there. Little Korean food is just there's Chinese, Japanese, which is completely different, but Chinese. Then there's Vietnamese and Korean. Malaysia I don't know that much about, but Korean and Vietnamese are just, but Korean in particular is just another, wow. It's incredible. All right, dear friends, have a great and a glorious and a beauteous day. Thank you so much for following us. Don't forget, Lynn's Warriors, make sure that you are guaranteed subscribed to Lionel Nation, because again, people say, hey, I got unsubscribed, or I'm not in the algorithm. We're going to fix that. All right, dear friends, until we see each other later, don't forget the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue ya. Ta-ta.